Today is Saturday, March 12th, 2022, and I'm finally getting around to editing the last installment of the Jordan Residency. As I previously mentioned, my friend Jordan, my dear friend Jordan, was deployed to the Middle East for almost a year with the National Guard. What you're about to hear is me talking to him about his experience there. Gonna be a bit of a long one today, but I really think that our conversation is important and everybody can take something from it. Without further ado, here's our finale.
Derapy, Season 3 of Derapy. Season 3 of...
I joined the Guard immediately after college. So I graduated college December 2017, and I raised my right hand to join the Guard January 2018. So the next month, I was a National Guard soldier.
January 2018, you're in the National Guard. What's your schedule like? What are the expectations?
So being part-time, you go to drill 2 to 3 days out of the month. It's on a monthly basis. And really at drill, you'll do a number of things ranging from administrative to making sure that your equipment is up and operational for your unit. You'll do marksmanship training. We go to a certain site to qualify on the M4 and M17 weapon systems respectively, and others. But, it's there's just a bunch of basic soldier tasks really that goes into the drilling days.
So 2018, 2019, 2020, you're doing 2 to 3 drills a month. You're learning marksmanship, all the weapons stuff, administrative stuff. So you had 3 years in the National Guard before you actually were sent anywhere, before you were sent out of the country.
Right.
Did you feel like, before we get into like the feeling of finding out that you were supposed to leave, did you feel like based on the training that you had 2018, 2019, 2020, you were ready to go somewhere, you were ready to be activated, you felt prepared for whatever they were going to send you out to do?
Domestically, I think we could have been a little bit more active on the chemistry, on trying to figure out what the weaknesses and strengths are for every soldier in the unit before we went overseas with it. That definitely, absolutely would have played a significant role when we actually deployed overseas. Just because you do have those soldiers that are just not standoffish, but just different. They have different strengths, and they don't always play to your strengths. And so I think it does wonders to get to know your soldier before you go somewhere and potentially, fight side by side with them in a gunfight. I think it's important that we get to know each other before we share that intimate of a moment. So
Gotcha. When it comes to the actual deployment to Kuwait, when you find out that you're going, do you know who you're going with? Are you going with the same people you've been doing drill with?
Yes, it is the same unit that I've been drilling with the whole time.
Okay, awesome. So as shocking as the news was, I'm sure, you, your family, your friends, and all of that, did you know how frequently the National Guard was called to deploy before you joined?
Absolutely not. And so here's the thing. Here's the thing of when I actually signed up. A deployment, while I knew it was still a possibility, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm signing up to be, a part-time National Guard soldier. And so I still have a job. I work at an insurance company back home, and I do drills once a month. And so I never, it crossed my mind, once or twice, what if we got called up? But in the event that we got called up, I thought it would be on a severe level. There's actually something that's going on in current days that's going on overseas that we need the Guard activated to send over. I never thought that we would just be called up for a mission to deploy for, 10, 11 months.
From the outside looking in, somebody listening to this might say, so you were a part-time National Guard member. You're showing up for drill 2 to 3 times a month to do this training. And now they're telling you you're going to be in Kuwait for 10 months. That doesn't sound like enough training. That doesn't sound like enough preparation. What were you guys doing in these drills that made them think you'd be prepared for something like that?
Well, we do mobilization tasks and readiness. And so the drills that we had coming closer to the deployment date, they were primarily focused on, foreign relations.
Right.
Just basic soldier maneuvering skills, just cultural awareness. That was a big one. Just being familiar with your surroundings and really just what the main goal was of us going over there. Because along with you saying from the outside looking in to the average person who's not familiar with the military, that does sound a bit ludicrous to just go to drill twice a month and then just go away from home
For 10 months.
yeah for
straight.
like 10 months. It really just falls back on, you raise that right hand, and so you have to be ready, with the training or not, to fight your enemies, foreign or domestic. And so it's as crazy as it sounds. Yeah, you go to drill like 2 times a month, but if you get called up, then you are prepared in the way that you have to be with these mobilization tasks that I talked about that we do coming closer to the deployment.
How much time between when they tell you you're going to Kuwait and when you go to Kuwait? How many months? How many weeks?
We got the news in 2019.
Oh, okay. So you had months to prepare.
And so, yeah, like I didn't want to tell you guys.
Oh, well,
because
of course, yeah.
It was
I
like,
understand. Okay, gotcha.
I was like,
It's confidential.
I was like, well, first I was like, damn, that's gonna be like, I'm gonna depress the whole group, and it's like, I don't want to do all that, so I'm just gonna enjoy like this year and a half that I still have with them. And then so like when I dropped it initially in the group me, I'd known already for like over a year, but I just didn't. I couldn't bring myself to tell you guys until I had to. Yeah, we had ample time to be prepared to.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that makes me feel better because like I was under the impression that you were just doing these like your standard drills. I wouldn't say going through the motions, but they weren't specific drills that were prepping you for the 10-month Kuwait deployment. So, what's the mission? Why are you going to Kuwait?
Build international relations.
Build international relations.
Yes.
Build on the rapport that we have with the people of Kuwait.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kuwait loves us. We love them.
Mm-hmm.
Were they happy to see you?
They're really cool. The people of Kuwait, they're really cool. It's a really cool culture. We got to go out into the city a couple of times. We got to go to this very big mall. I forgot the name of it, but it's an insane mall, and they are super friendly over there.
They have malls, so they're civilized people. They
are to an extent. There are certain parts of the country that are worse off than the others, but in Kuwait City is where you'll find the restaurants and the malls and all that stuff. But
I'm assuming you can't talk about exactly what city you were stationed in.
Well, it's an army base, but
okay, gotcha. So it's an army base. So the living conditions.
Oh man.
I mean, it's an army base. Wouldn't the army base living conditions be pretty chill?
No.
Or no?
I mean, this goes into what I was telling my family when I got back. It's like the things that you experience over there at an army base, you just come back home with literally just this whole new foundation of gratitude and humbleness. Like, and I was a humble guy before I deployed, but with the stuff like the housing conditions and the environment, the weather there, as opposed to here, it's just an absolutely insane just to think about, the new appreciation that you have of your everyday things. You can wake up, go to your own bathroom 3-4 feet away. You can wake up, go to the kitchen, make yourself a cup of coffee in your own kitchen, and not have to worry about passing 6, 7, 8 guys on the way and, having to deal with all that. And it's insane.
Is it comparable to dorm life on campus, or is it even less?
Absolutely not, because
okay.
Because you have to understand that these are, when you're in a college dorm room or you're living in a dorm, these are college kids. You have, enough to play with as far as knowing what to expect from your typical average college guy.
You still had your own room.
You have your own.
You and one other person.
You have a roommate. You have one roommate. One. So with the experience as compared to the college dorm life, you have at least if you're in E7 or above, and which in those terms in E7 is a sergeant first class.
Right.
If you have that rank or higher, you still have 4 roommates. Now, if you're below that rank, which the majority of the people in the Army are, you live in an open bay, which means that a bay, to those that don't understand, can house up to, I want to say 80.
Jesus.
60 to 80 people.
Wait, you're sleeping in a room with...
No, it's an open bay.
Uh-huh.
And so there's bunks, and so there's a top bunk and a bottom bunk, and that's the whole structure. It's just a bunch of bunks like by each other.
Jeez.
And as far as the bathrooms, that's where I'm going back to the college. My point being was that in a dorm, it's probably not as bad as your typical public bathroom, if not cleaner. I mean, you're in a dorm. I mean, you're not with savages. And I'm not saying that the people that are over there are savages. I'm just saying that these are actual grown men.
Yeah. You guys don't have like RAs.
No, like
keep things in order.
these are grown men that use the same bathrooms and the same sinks that you do anywhere you go on base. And so you're having like 5 or 6 sinks, and it's nothing for you to like walk up to a sink and you got like shaving care or some miscellaneous like fluid or liquid, that whatever's in the sink, and then you got to go to the toilet. And don't get me started on the toilet. First of all,
Are there stalls?
there are stalls,
Okay.
but
Doors that open and close.
yes,
Okay.
but in the Middle East, you cannot flush the toilet paper.
You what?
Or at least where in Kuwait, you couldn't flush the toilet paper. And so you know what that meant? There was a basket by the toilet that you had, when you wiped your ass, you had to throw the tissue in the basket. You couldn't throw it in the toilet. So whenever you want to go take a shit, there's a basket full of shitty toilet paper.
God.
Right by you. Every single time.
Look, man.
And so
When I sit down to go to the bathroom, I like to really take my time.
What do you mean by that?
My nice private alone time. I'll watch a YouTube video or whatever. With that basket next to me, I'd be like, look, I just gotta get in and get out, man. That's crazy. So not a lot of running water. They didn't have water to expend.
It's not drinkable. There was running water, but it's not meant for human consumption. And there are signs all over the place that says that the water is not meant for human consumption.
So the sinks you were using to wash your hands in, you couldn't drink the water.
No.
Jeez. What's the food like?
Mediocre, at best.
No
it
Burger
was-
King.
They did have chains. They had a couple of chains over there. They had Starbucks, which is open 24/7, which is where
Okay,
I spent the
nice.
majority of the time in Starbucks. They had a Pizza Hut, and as far as a pepperoni pizza at Pizza Hut in the United States is made with the pepperoni that we've come to know and love.
Right.
The pepperoni over there tastes off. Now, I'm not saying that it's not pepperoni. Now, look, I'm not saying that it's not pepperoni. I'm just saying that they're not the same ingredients.
But it's Pizza Hut.
It is Pizza Hut. It is Pizza Hut.
Why are they using different ingredients?
I believe it has something to do with the actual
everything.
laws that they have over there, that there are certain ingredients that they cannot use in food, such as pork.
Isn't everybody in Kuwait Muslim?
It is a Muslim country.
So they're not supposed to eat pork.
Fun fact, pork is prohibited in Kuwait, and under the country's strict laws, individuals involved in its sale could face a 3-year sentence and a fine of more than $165,000.
Damn.
But you got to keep in mind, this Pizza Hut is on an army base.
Okay, so you guys don't follow the rules.
We do, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much gray where what ingredients they can use and what they can't use based off the chain, because it's the same chain. It's still Pizza Hut, but the menu items they may look the same. You may think it's the same, but it's not. I'll give you another example.
They got Impossible Pizza.
It's probably Impossible Pizza. But here's another one. While we're on the topic, Burger King. It's funny that you brought that up. There's a Burger King on post. I got a bacon cheeseburger one time. I got a bacon cheeseburger thinking it was going to be a bacon cheeseburger that I know and love over here. I lift the bun up. Whatever it was wasn't bacon. It was thick sliced like ham. But it didn't smell like ham. So it made me believe that I was actually about to eat a camel, but I didn't. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. So when you order like bacon or like any pork items over there, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to be the pork or the bacon or the sausage that you think it is.
It's crazy that they even go out of their way to call it bacon, knowing it's not really bacon.
That wasn't bacon. I don't know what else to tell you.
Early hours drifting through the land.
Did you get any real alone time, like how you would in a bed at the end of like a long day of work? You come home, you want to like watch a TV show, or you just want to read a book or whatever. Do you get like time to yourself, or are you always around people?
Absolutely not. So this goes back to if you were fortunate enough, which I was. I'm a lieutenant, so I was in the E7 and above category. So I had 3 other roommates. Now, after a long day, I would go back to my bunk with the same 3 people that I saw at work. And so you didn't really get that time alone. I mean, you're always by someone that you know, so you don't really have that time to just unwind and decompress. So you never really got that, but you did have these things that people made on the bottom bunk, but this was a bottom bunk exclusive.
Right.
And so if you had a bottom bunk, you would have these curtains or these sheets that you would hang up. So, that would create like a screen and your own private bunk. So you have like this 2x4, this twin size. You have a twin size bed. That was your personal space. So if you put up the sheets on either foot of the bed and then you put up the sheet like just on the longer area, then that was your area. That was your personal area. But at the same time, you got to keep in mind, you're always rooming with somebody.
So it's like you get the illusion of privacy with these curtains that you can just pull or bring down or whatever. But realistically, it would take nothing for somebody to just be like, pull it back and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, absolutely.
That can happen at any time. So there's really no, geez, man, there's no place to go to do yoga, meditation, read a book.
Well, they do have MWR, and so MWR is morale, welfare, and recreation, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many acronyms in the Army. I'm sorry. There is MWR, in which they have these facilities specifically meant for people that if you want to pick up a guitar and go play, you can.
Oh, that's sweet.
They have like rooms where you can just reserve, pick up an instrument, or if you want to read, they had this really cool thing that I thought was awesome. And I'm not a father, but there was a lot of people obviously that I deployed with that are.
Right.
And so they have kids. They have a reading room where you can like record yourself reading a book and you can send it to your kids.
That's so sweet.
And so like they had all that stuff. They had ping pong, pool, like, and so that was like your recreation center.
Okay.
But as far as like a person, like I think what you're trying to say is like going back to your own room and just shutting the door stuff. No, there was none of that. Like I believe you got your own room if you made colonel, or if you're like a high official, like like.
You get more privileges or privacy depending on your rank, and it sounds like you were getting some of those benefits, but not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an officer, which there comes a lot of benefits with being an officer, and so one of those benefits is being in a 4-person room, and so it's just the higher you go, really, your benefits just increase drastically.
Did you feel like people were checking up on you a lot, or did you feel like detached from everyone?
I didn't tell a lot of people, and when people did find out that I was over there, I did have people reaching out, like not on a daily basis, but enough to know that they cared. And so the people that I did tell, and of course I was in the group me the whole time, with the boys, and so you guys reached out when you could. The family, they were great. I spoke to my mom every day.
My mama.
So that was a big plus, because I was concerned about whether or not I'd be able to keep consistent contact with my family. So that was a great thing. So as far as people just generally concerned about me and my absence, I believe it was fair. I didn't have anybody that I didn't expect to not reach out, but I did have people that I didn't expect to reach out. So that's actually way better.
It's actually a pleasant surprise, the amount of contact you had. That's good. So you didn't really feel like, I guess that kind of leads me into the next question. Like what was your day-to-day like? Like, what was your schedule? What was your day-to-day expectations?
Woke up at around 5:30 every day.
Damn.
At around 5:30. And so you get dressed, you get showered, you get breakfast. And so you go into, I don't want to say the office, but for the sake of this conversation, it's the office.
Right.
But really we had like these work tents. And so you go over and you have a tent. And so the tent it's a tent, but it's hard structured. It's like a hard tent. Mm-hmm. It's like a hard, soft tent. It's hard to describe. But it's like, all right, so like a hangar. Like you like an airport hangar?
Could you knock on the tent and it would feel like...
It's a certain material that is yes, you could feel and hear it if you knocked on the tent.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's not hard.
What do you mean by that?
Pause. It's like a soft, a soft material. But you could knock on the tent, and you could definitely.
And the people inside would be like, oh, someone's knocking on the tent.
And
okay, gotcha.
And so that's what we worked out of. You go into work, and like I said, it was a bunch of administrative, to be honest with you.
Is it like activity log stuff?
Or at least, well, It really depended on what your MOS was. And so for people that don't know what MOS is, it's a military occupational specialty. You could either be, which is an artillery person, like an artillery member, or you could be just a human resources clerk or a human resources officer. And so what my personal day-to-day was, I went into the office and I did assist with mail operations. I assisted the commander with whatever he needed me to assist with that day. And really it was just a matter of a typical 9 to 5, except for your overseas.
Would you say it was more administrative or more field stuff? Like what's the percentage? Like what's the pie chart looking like?
It was probably 60 admin, 40 field. Just because we did conduct exercises in the desert, and most of those times sucked. But
how hot did it get in the desert?
We recorded, I think the highest temperature we recorded was 131.
Oh, hot, 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 hot.
I think that was the highest that we got. And
they expected you to be out there.
Well, see, here's the thing. Going back on the weather, it's there were multiple nights where it's midnight. It's midnight, man. It's midnight. The sun is couldn't be further than the sky. It's midnight.
It's like pitch black out.
You open up the weather app, your phone says 101. Like I'm not lying to you. And there will be, and again, multiple mornings where you wake up, it's 6, 7 in the morning, it's 95 degrees. So you're just like,
God,
how can you deal with this, like during these summer months? And it was something terrible.
And would it be like that for like weeks at a time?
Months, my man. Like from the time we got there, like when we really set up shop in like April, like mid-April, all the way until September, it was that kind of hot.
Okay, so I thought there were certain parts of the world. I thought like in these deserts in the Middle East or whatever, I thought it would be like super hot in the day, but it would get super cold at night. You're telling me it was just hot all the time?
It didn't change. It's hot. That's what you get. You get hot. Day in and day out.
What's like what would you define as like a cool day there? Like 90? Like I don't understand.
A cool day would be 90.
Oh, that's hot.
Because our bodies got adjusted to that high temperature. So when we got back to the States, we were all freezing.
Bro, that's
like,
disgusting.
How is a cool day? Bro, if it's 90 outside, I'm like, bro, chill.
Here's the thing. You know how it's like, you wake up, get dressed, you put on your boots, you go to work. And so it wouldn't be anything by the time you got to work, you're drenched.
Y'all
because
got fans? Like
we
what is
we do. We had fans. We had fans in the barracks and in the office. Once you got there, you were cool. But once the walk there or the walk anywhere while you're outside, dreadful. Absolutely terrible.
The compensation, did you get paid extra because you were deployed, or were you getting the same salary that you were getting when you were part-time, but they were just paying you full-time now?
Once you deploy, you go on full-time active duty orders. And so you would get paid, and this is all public knowledge, by the way.
Okay.
Since, the Army, the military, they're government, so of course you can just look up the salary. Mm-hmm. But once you're on active duty, then you get paid that amount for the rank that you are.
Okay. Well, people are going to look it up, but you can tell me, I'll blank it out. How much was it? Like, what's the salary for, like, anybody in your rank?
On a bi-weekly basis. For my rank?
Yeah.
For my rank. On a bi-weekly, I was pulling in...
Every other week.
Yeah.
How are you spending? Do you spend it, or did you just save it?
You save, man. Because what are you gonna spend it on over there? I mean, we
did
did have
PS5 or something like a.
Well, okay. So we did have a few soldiers that went on Amazon, they went on Etsy, they went on eBay, and
they got stuff delivered to Kuwait.
That and at home. They got stuff delivered to Kuwait and at home. Like I did with the PS5, I'm not ashamed of it. I definitely bought a PS5.
It's fine.
While I was over there, and I had it sent to I had it sent to home. Other than that, you just save because they feed you there. That's a given. That's free.
Right.
So they feed you 3 times a day. You have facilities that you can work out, go to the gym. You have MWR, and so I mean, if you wanted to spend, really, you would just spend at places like Pizza Hut, Burger King, Starbucks,
Right.
you know, all the places that are on post. But other than that, there's not really a whole bunch to really spend your money on.
So I don't have to research this or do a market research or a survey or whatever. I feel like 8 or 9 out of 10 people that are working a day-to-day job probably feel like they're not being compensated appropriately for what they're doing. Based on what you went through over there and based on how much money, you know, is publicly available for people to know that you made or how much you just told me that I blanked out, do you feel like you were compensated appropriately for the amount of work you put in, or do you feel like they couldn't have paid you enough to go through that again?
It was fair what they paid me, but I don't think I would be keen on doing that again anytime soon. If you know, if that makes sense. Like, you know, so it was fair. It was definitely fair play. But
when you found out how much they were going to be paying you each week, you were like, "Yeah, makes sense. That's fair."
I was like that, but I was on the fence. Like,
Still not having a good time.
I wasn't like gung ho about, you know, like going. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, you know, you get over there. And, you know, you do what you got to do. You get back home to your loved ones and, you know, you call it a day.
Did we accomplish the mission? Are there people in Kuwait that you met that you were there for? Are they satisfied with the fact that you were there? Did we win? Is everything good? Like, do you feel like somebody else is going to be sent over to do a job that you were sent there to do, that your unit was sent there to do, or is it done? Is our business done in Kuwait?
The United States will always have a presence in Kuwait.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do have rotations. And so by rotation, I mean, like, our unit will leave, another unit will replace us.
Gotcha.
And the cycle will continue. And as far as our unit and our mission, where I'm speaking personally, yes, absolutely. Mission accomplished. Still good relations with Kuwait, and again, nothing confidential. It's just it was a great success as far as the unit as a whole. Really, it's just you have to really think about what your service members you know go through when they're overseas, and I feel like a lot of people, and I will say this, I will die on this hill. I'll say this till I die. I don't want anyone to have to experience everything that a deployed service member experiences. But I do believe that if people just lived like a little bit, just a glimpse, maybe a week, if that, of what it goes on over there or typical life over there, the world, America, like all the free world and the first world countries and all that stuff, it would be so much better. Because I feel like people have a newfound appreciation of the things that they may not even know they take for granted on a daily basis.
Right.
Such as the waking up, going 2 feet to your own bathroom. You don't have to walk 90 seconds to the nearest restroom anywhere you go. Like, it's just right there. You get to wake up, go to your own refrigerator, go to your own sink. You can drink the tap water. You know what I mean? Like, you have your own room.
No,
like,
all we drink in this apartment is tap water.
see-
We couldn't do that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, you can do your own laundry. You don't have to wait for, like, multiple people to do laundry and take your stuff out. We had people stealing clothes while we was over there. So, you know, like, and not our people, but, I mean, just people that, you know, if you didn't take your laundry out in a timely manner, it wouldn't be seen again.
There are no RAs.
You saw it that morning and not again. But really, just on a serious note, like, I really do think that if people really had that experience, just a taste, then the things that they didn't even know, again, that they may have taken for granted, it'd just be completely new. Just, I appreciate
newfound perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like we have unfathomable luxury being in the United States. Like, we just don't even recognize it on a daily basis. And, you know, it's incredibly eye-opening because, like I said, I was a humble guy before I went overseas, but especially after coming back from that, I went home, the first thing I said was mine. Like, I was overcome with emotion because it was like this was all my stuff that I didn't have to share anymore with anyone.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like the more people that actually get outside their, you know, that comfort and just know what it's like to be communal for like a week, like really in the shit, I feel like a lot of people would just be a lot more appreciative and a lot less hateful. But, you know, that's just if I had anything to take away to give to the general audience, it's just that, absolutely, man, just count your blessings on a daily basis. Be thankful what you have, what you don't, because 9 times out of 10, what you don't have is what people wouldn't even dream about having, but you're concerned about not having it. Just be grateful for what you have right now, man.
And you're like,
absolutely,
you're like in humble mode, which is great. I want people to know, by the way, like every once in a while I'm doing Lyft, I'll talk to people that are like in the Army or in the Navy or whatever. I just want y'all to know the National Guard is out here doing shit. People don't know, okay? You talk to the average person about the National Guard, they see all these commercials, they're like, the National Guard just shows up when there's a hurricane. Like, no, they're really out here. 90 degrees is a chill day for them. Like, they're out here in the streets.
In the streets.
They can't flush the toilet paper. It's serious. The bacon's not real. Like, it's tough. Like, they're struggling. And yeah, we're like, I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that you made it. Everybody's glad that you made it back and you're safe. Now that you've been through it, now that you've done it, made it, and been compensated for it, would you recommend the National Guard to anyone? And would you say it's all been worth it? If you knew you had to go back through it again to be where you are right now, would you?
I will say, to anyone that is considering the military at all, first of all, thank you for at least thinking or having that as an option to step up and serve your country. That's already incredible. But I will say that for anyone trying to join, just personally speaking, please, I can't reiterate enough, please do your research. Do your research on what you're signing up for. Do your research on what you're going to specialize in when you do join that branch of service. And just be aware. You know, some people will say the military is like any other job, but, you know, there's still a lot of ins and outs. And building relations, networking, that also does wonders because the military is a small world. Really, as far as anyone wanting to join, just personally speaking, again, just do your research before you sign up. Make sure that it is something that you want to do, something that you commit yourself to, because it's not like a regular job as opposed to what some people say. Once you sign, once that pen hits paper, you are contracted for however many years that contract says.
They got you.
We got his ass now. And so,
if you had the opportunity to go back in time to Jordan that hadn't signed yet, would you let him do it? Or would you be like,
Brother, I've seen the other side of this. Let's just take a different route.
where are you at with that? Have you thought about that?
I have, and you know, without actually shitting on everything that I've done up to this point, it's just a matter of me saying I'll pass. If I were to go back to that time, and again, it's everything that I've done, everything that I've been a part of in the Guard so far has been absolutely life-changing. I won't take that away at all. And for the best, actually, and it's been incredible. I've met some great people, but as far as 21, 22-year-old me, I would say I would definitely focus my time elsewhere, and by elsewhere I mean music, because that's actually what I'm passionate about in life.
Yeah, it's like everything that you've done, you're proud of. You're glad that you did it. But realistically, while you were over there, you could have been doing other things with your life. You could have been doing something that, you know, you could have been in a place that wasn't 130 degrees. Yes, I think there are a lot of people that serve that would probably be afraid to say that. That would be afraid to say, man, looking back, if I could have told my younger self, like, and I mean, you went through a lot. It's a lot for me to even hear, but there are a lot of people that have lost a lot more than just their privileges. Some have lost limbs, some have lost hearing, some have lost their lives. So I think that I'm sure it takes a lot for you to say, yeah, I don't think my younger self was ready for it, and I would probably tell them that they could spend their time doing something that was a lot less, you know.
And you know, it might be a hot take, and you know, like I can't even fathom. You're talking about, I can't even fathom. I went over there, but like you said, people have lost lives, sons, daughters, husbands, wives, limbs, hearing, sight. Like, so much more than I came back with all my extremities, all my limbs. I'm good.
Yeah, dude, you look like you did when you left.
And so it's like, you know, just people that have went over there and like they have paid the ultimate price, and you know, just all that. It's absolutely incredible, and you have to stand up for those people. That I will also die on that hill. Like, those people that went over there and gave everything, and came back just not the same. You absolutely have to put the respect on their name, like absolutely. And with the hot take, and me personally, I'm not afraid to say that I would go back and just be like, hey man, maybe actually pursue and be serious about this music thing, the way that you are now, because you would have, like you said, I mean, maybe I'd have ample time to be the musician or be in a higher position from an artist perspective.
The good news is you're back, you're healthy, you made it, you got paid, you saved a lot of it, and I appreciate you coming on. Obviously, personally, I'm glad that you're back. I was terrified as to what would happen over there. I had no idea what was going on. I was just thinking, just praying, like, I don't know what's happening. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know nobody was as broken up as your mom was. I was probably a very, 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 very distant second or third. But regardless, every day, every time something would happen in the group me, when we're talking in the group chat, or anything would happen up here, all the things I'm doing with the podcast, when I'm talking with Denzel and Fred, I'm like, this feels weird. We're missing Jordan. But not anymore. You're back. You're staying. And thank God. So I appreciate you coming on. And I love you.
Absolutely, my man. Love you too. Always.
Thank you all again for tuning in. Special thanks again to Jordan for coming on and sharing some of his experience over the course of the past year. We actually recorded for like close to an hour, but there's a lot of stuff that couldn't make the final cut for obvious reasons. But yeah, thanks for tapping into these past 3 episodes and getting acquainted with a pivotal character in the Derapy verse. Love you. Mean it. Check out Jordan's music. Let me know if you'd like to be my next guest. I'm very easy to get in touch with. Enjoy the bars.
Hey, one take. I'm going mean like Ruben it on a bad day. I be going hard, never halfway. Lately feeling bad, man, but I can't be staying down. I'm the one who's slaying sound, no time to be playing around. I'm not one to play a clown, play the hero, save a town. Only live twice, how you do that? Gotta wear like 2 caps. Come home, they like, who that? It's that dude who do raps, but this ain't no Taco Bell. Hero, some respect now. You know how I get down, bust down on my wrist now. Oh wow, he a liar. One day I'll get flyer. Situation dire. Sometimes think I'm drowning. I like to go higher. First need to be higher. Check my skills and accolades. Don't you think I deserve pay? I've been going super sane. All I'm missing yellow hair. Idolized breezy as a child, then I grown up. Still waiting to glow up, but at least I show up. Make a buck by showing off. Haters, man, I blow them off. Shrug my shoulders, moving boulders. Mentally like Mewtwo. They like, who knew he'd be cutting up like 2-year-olds. And time out when you tell them that it's time not to just chill out and just lie down. But they stressing you while blessing you, cause children are a gift. But I can wait for that, can't pay for that. I'm taking one day at a time. Perfect the craft and keep it tight. Cannot waste a second. If you wanna be the best, and I'll be snapping like Cortez or something. Going Kanye West or something. Reputation to protect. If you looking at it crazy, then I'm going for your neck. I'm a lion on the prowl. I be fibbing and a threat. My bro saying they forget. And they're just reminding me, you better keep an eye on me. I swear y'all so behind on me. 2046 flow. You know how this shit go. Waiting on the money like a